Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Larry.
You okay?
Yeah, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Still wish summer would end, but other than that,
Is it hot over there?
it's cooled off to like 90 degrees Fahrenheit in the
Uh-huh.
daytime.
I don't know what that means to me. 90 degrees. I always have trouble with the conversion.
36 Celsius, I think.
Okay. Whoa, that's quite hot.
Yes, it's quite hot. Hello.
Hey, Drechka.
Hello. Can you see me move?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Antonio.
Okay.
Cool.
That's only my problem.
Yeah, you look great.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Antonio.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Gert, Larry.
Okay, now I think I
Enrique.
have...
You put yourself on mute, apparently, Larry. Yeah, that's nice.
Did I?
It says that you're
Can
on
you hear me
mute,
now?
but I can still hear you. That's funny.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as you can hear me, I don't care what you call me. You can call me a mute as long as you can hear me. That's funny.
I would never call you that.
I've been called worse.
But not by us.
Not by you. This is always the kind of the high point of my week.
Well, you've got
It's
it
so much
twice
fun.
now.
Yeah.
By now you get it twice.
Well,
That's great.
It was fun Wednesday. So,
My
Yeah, you
camera
and-
it was weird. My camera died from the MacBook Pro.
really?
Yeah, and you? What happened to you? Just
Yeah,
Steamish?
I couldn't put any sound on because my girlfriend was sleeping right next to me in the couch.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So,
Something. I thought something happened also to you.
no,
It was
no, no.
interesting because we had one we could see and couldn't hear, and we had one we could hear and we couldn't see.
Yeah, it was strange.
But it worked out pretty good, actually. Let's see. Oh, we got extras now. Okay.
So yeah, if you start
about
this up,
that-
Larry, when you do it,
Yeah,
you have to start it
choose-
differently. When you've got this first screen on Google Plus, there is a link
Yeah.
that you can click, but it's only when you start a Hangout. There's a link that you can click to say Hangout with extras.
Yeah,
It's something that you
it's
have
a-
to select yourself each time.
It's a little
Right.
sentence below the.
Okay, I'll look for that.
Yeah.
I'll look for that. When I started on Wednesday again.
Yes, yeah, that's quite fun, huh? Have it twice. So it was a good point that you made, Larry. So this live stream, this is recorded on live stream at the same time, and apparently some people
Right.
don't like that.
Yes.
I think it's quite nice for some people that still want to, get some of the novelties and things that are going on, but can't make it since it's during their work day or not or whatnot, so that they can listen afterwards. But I can totally
Mhm.
understand that some people don't want to be splattered all over
Yeah.
the web.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have all these shady types that don't want people to know where they are. Oh, my parole officer might find me.
Yeah.
So, what's new?
Let's see. Managed to
What?
get all the PDFs to Antonio this morning, all 8 of them that have the Eigen off of the website in a PDF format
Oh, right. Yeah.
with index.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So now that I've done that, they'll probably change it all, but that's okay. I'm
Yeah,
gonna-
you have to follow the
RSS
updates.
feeds. Yes.
Yeah, the RSS. I've sent that to Larry.
Did
Yes,
you
I've got it. I just haven't done it yet. It looks like
Yeah.
it shouldn't be any problem. I just have to make another account and password and so forth and add it to my already huge file of usernames and passwords, which is like
you
about
don't
an
you
inch
don't
thick
have to
file
sign up
folder.
for anything, I think. It's just an
No,
RSS link.
So that's still. I mean, he sent me a thing on Google where you can sign up for RSS, and then he gave me the Eigenlabs RSS,
Right. Well, the
which I can
RSS.
paste into Google.
Yes, well, you could use that with any RSS client.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are
And
many
maybe,
of them out there.
since G Plus and Gmail, I mean, I just use the same username and password for both of them.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the same thing. I just haven't gone far enough to install it. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. You have a bunch of things inside the Google account. It's just to look for the reader.
All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I added a few sentences over the weekend, so your PDFs are out of date, Larry.
Good.
Yeah. Let me just connect it.
I would rather have it that way than the other way around.
Well, you can update the wiki also, and then let us know.
Yeah. Little by little. I'm also working with, it's Contact 5 and Complete 8, and a lot of stuff there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And on I just have the 13-inch MacBook, the small screen, and it is really difficult to navigate around some of that contact window because there's a button to go up to the next file level, choose instruments, and I can see the arrow, but there's such a tiny little active area that you're trying to get your arrow in like 1 or 2 pixels on the screen, and so it's at first I thought it's not working, and I kept playing with it. Oh, it worked. It must be really tiny. So, but it is. The sounds are great that I've used so far. Just a couple of them so far, but amazing. And then I also have to figure out how to get the pitch blend off of my keys into the instruments.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of a double step.
I found the configure, but I didn't know for sure what 2 things to link up there when I got to the configure window.
But do you want to turn it off or do you want to fine tune it?
I wanted to turn it on, actually.
Turn it on. Okay. Well, the thing is that you have to basically the pitch bend of your audio unit should be at 2 semitones. That's what audio units expect. You can put it higher, but then you will not have as much. You will hit the maximum sooner.
It's not working right now.
But then you have to also set that up in your audio unit in Contact itself, so that it knows that it has to do pitch bend.
Okay. I'll have to start reading that manual, I guess.
I think it should be pretty self-explanatory.
I don't know.
It depends on which instrument you're using, of course.
Well, right now I'm in Contact 5, and I have one of the organ instruments in. I don't remember what the name of the organ was. But I didn't have pitch bend, but I haven't learned all the stuff to turn things on and off yet. So
let me see if I can find the Contact 5 here. Contact 5. What is loaded in this one?
I can make it over here.
I'm still to upgrade, but I'm still on 4. I was trying this new
organ.
Vintage organs, one of those vintage organs things.
Yeah,
it's one of the Sonic Couture.
Orpheum or something like that manual.
What is it?
Can't quite get my headphone all the way over here to read the fine print. GRPRPLENUM. Yeah.
You have to find. I just don't know where to look for it.
Yeah.
Is this in the vintage organs section or?
Keyboard instruments. It's in the keyboard instrument section.
Oh, you're in the factory setup. In the factory instruments?
Factory library, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Am I really loud?
No, it sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I find myself
the Eigenharp
too loud.
and the and your voice are coming through great.
So, is that band keyboard instruments? No. World orchestral.
So 6
orchestral.
keyboard instruments. Is that I can't see above that, that file selection right now.
GRPRP, that's the one?
Yeah, organ KH, GRPRP.
Right. Linium.
manual.
Yeah. Let me see what it does. Contact is loading its files. Creating cache file. What is that?
Huh.
Oh.
Sounds about the same.
Let's see. Scale travel.
Yeah, I have it coming through my speaker, but I don't have it going into the computer.
So the actual the instrument itself is not set up for pitch bend.
Okay. That
Now,
might be why it doesn't work.
If you go to the bottom of it, so you've got two tabs, an instruments tabs and an options tabs at the bottom. And then to the upper right, you've got pitch bend range. And you can move that up or down.
Is that in options?
That's in options. Yes.
Okay, I gotta open up options.
And that still doesn't work. Okay.
Key range, transpose, pitch bend, up, down.
I might have turned this off in me.
No, it's not working on mine yet, but
I get the pitch bend signal in. I turn that down a little bit because it's quite loud.
There's a thing that says pitch. It's already turned down. A little knob down there.
But it's randomized.
No, it didn't do anything.
Because I can see the pitch wheel move, so contact gets it. It doesn't seem to do anything with it.
Maybe if you add a modulator and then pitch bend.
I think I have to go into the instrument itself.
Yeah.
I didn't want to take up all this time. It's okay.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Modulator.
It happens a lot.
Pitch bend.
Normally it's easier to take it off.
I might just have to break down and read the manual. That might have some help too. Though I opened up the manual for what was it? One of the instruments, reactor. That was 400 pages long. I said, "Oh my word, 400 pages."
I don't seem to have a destination for pitch in a modulator, Antonio. I can only do volume and pan, so I think that instrument actually might not have any pitch bend.
Well, it makes sense in a way. I mean, how many organs have pitch bend on them in the classical sense?
Let me see if it's another instrument. No. Let me see if I take one of those vintage organs that ship with it. Classic rock. Hello. I didn't see the name of the person that just joined.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Servus.
What's your name?
Dennis.
Good evening. Yeah. Yes.
Cool. Well, welcome.
I'm from Germany.
Hey, new person.
So on this other organ, in this basic rock organ, you can see. Let's see if I can share this. How do you do this again? Share screen. Let me see this. Does this work? You can see that?
Yes, I can.
So what happens with this organ is that those slide thingies move up and down with pitch bend, but it doesn't change the rest of the sound. So the upper section changes for the upper section of the keyboard. Right?
You have drawbars
Yes.
on the pitch bend.
That's the way it's set up.
Wow.
So yeah, that's one of the tricky things with audio units, and it's figuring out what is actually supported and how to map to it, particularly in the sampler-based ones.
Yeah. Now pitch bend. That's a separate MIDI signal, is it? It's not a continuous controller number, or is it?
No, it's a separate signal, yeah.
No.
It's a separate signal, okay.
Yeah.
Which is actually one of the only 14-bit signal that is understood by default without having to go to 14-bit MIDI. So, which is quite interesting, because it means that you could actually use it for other stuff. You could use it to get high resolution data somewhere. If you can't get any 14-bit support being activated in your plugins. But it's just one channel, so.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So, hey Dennis, are you an Eigenharp player or just an interested party, or?
Sorry, I don't understand really good English. I'm from Germany.
Okay.
And and I'm interested in your conversation, and so, and perhaps I find something. Oder nee, Quatsch. I can learn from you.
Okay.
If I listen to you.
Do you play you play the Eigenharp?
No.
Okay. You're just interested by it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
This is right.
Well, we also have a translator for you.
Yes, Drachika, she speaks German. She can translate on the fly. No, just kidding.
Ja, also schlimmstenfalls, wenn du eine Frage hast, kann ich vielleicht übersetzen.
Ja, okay. Weiß ich
bin aus der Schweiz. Also von dem her.
Ja. Okay.
Okay, now let's change to English again, so that everybody understands.
Okay.
So, Dennis, if there is something you want to translate, what you could do is there is a group chat to the left side of the Hangout window. So, and then if you could in parallel talk with Drachika in German if you want to. I don't know. That's just a suggestion. That's something that we've done in the past.
I noticed it at least. I noticed it.
You'll get the hang of it quickly. So I'm still on my venture of looking into analog synthesis with the Eigenharp. I seem to be going back and forth. I can't make up my mind.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
No.
Your last choice, in the end, as you said, it's a no-brainer. So
yeah, the Slim Fatty. Well, it's like
Slim Fatty.
700 euros.
Yeah, it's not expensive, and it's a good entry for.
But then in the meantime, I saw that Tom Oberheim has reissued his synthesizer. And that looks very nice. Also, sounds great.
Also, yeah. I like better that approach of a small box or something a bit different than our sound module.
And then Ken Macbeth has just announced that he's going to be released a desktop modular analog synth that is actually the same form factor as the 5U. Modular, so you can use it as a desktop, and if you want to start upgrading, you can just take it and put it in your 5U rack, which is interesting also, but that's probably gonna go for 1,500 euros or 2,000 euros. It's not bad, but it's quite a lot of money.
It's up there.
It's a lot of money out. Yeah,
it's better than 5,000 though. So
it is. I mean, I was at 5,000 a week ago. So.
Yeah, that's Huseman modules and Moog modules. It's expensive.
But what's interesting is that I was kind of reading through all the threads about what is important in a modular synth and which modules are essential and whatnot. So I was kind of putting everything together with envelope generators and
VCOs,
and also stuff to the utility things to handle the control voltage and whatnot. And then all of a sudden I realized that I don't need any of those utility things, because if
we have them,
they're an Eigen-D, so I can just as soon as I add, which is one of the reasons that I'm looking into this, which is CV going straight out of Eigen-D over a DC coupled audio interface.
Yes.
Okay.
I can just send that out directly from Eigendy, and we've got everything in there, which means that I can actually shrink down the amount of modules that I need by a dramatic amount and just get some oscillators and filters.
Yeah, absolutely. It changed the picture a lot. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just still finding my bearings with this.
It's fascinating what you can do with it, though.
Well, it's interesting. I think it's quite of interesting that this, going back to the roots kind of thing. So it starts, going back to analog synthesis because it's got CV, which means there is no steppiness. There is not the resolution problem that you have in the digital world.
The digital world, yeah.
And that the high resolution of the Eigenharp would be quite appropriate for that. And I think it's an interesting approach, because I also think that it could breathe new life into existing analog synth modules, because people are very used to to trigger envelope generators and work with step sequencers and stuff like that. Instead of having an instrument that could provide the envelope in real time based on your performance. So I think that would be quite interesting.
Yeah.
Have you discussed the CV out thingy yet?
With?
In a group, because I'm just wondering how is this going to work technically?
Well, technically it doesn't work yet.
Yeah.
So technically,
that's why he hasn't told us.
How is it going to?
Well, this is not officially something that Eigenlabs has announced nor is planning to do. This is purely my own personal experiment, right? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But in the start, I think someone mentioned building a box that will do CV out of the Eigendy. I'm sure you remember that, so
right.
It's not that far away.
Yeah.
But go on, yeah. Go on.
Yeah. So that we're not going to do that, basically, because the manufacturing costs and approvals and whatnot to get that box to be manufactured and approved worldwide is going to be a nightmare for a relative, little amount of interested people. However,
absolutely.
There is this one path that I'm looking at now is since we added this experimental OSC agent that I'm going to continue hacking on a little bit, that initially I can use Expert Sleeper's silent way to generate CV over a DC coupled audio interface by sending it OSC messages. Okay. And since so the DC coupled audio interface guarantees that the voltage that is sent out all the way through the output at the same voltage through the audio interface, so that what you have on your cable is the actual voltage that you wanted to send from the computer.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, sorry to you use your multi outputs of a sound card to interact with the CV gear you have.
So it's over audio.
It's over audio. So each physical audio channel, instead of sending an audible audio signal, kind of sends another signal, which is a voltage signal, which is also frequency, and just have to get. So the trick is that you have to calibrate it. You have to kind of do a feedback loop where the sound that actually is being played by your analog synth would be reanalyzed back by the software that generates the CVs, so that it can initially go over the whole range of the frequencies to calibrate it, to know how your synth reacts to certain CVs and how stable it is and stuff like that. And then afterwards, you can just send it out that frequency, and it will generate the appropriate voltage over the wire. So the initial approach that I was thinking of taking was to go through Expert Sleeper's silent way, but then I was talking with John and looking at what we've planned for 2.0 with multiple audio outputs in Eigendy. It really doesn't seem that much work to add that natively into Eigendy. So I'm gonna do that a little bit as a side project, so during the weekends and stuff like that, to try to get that in there directly into Eigendy, and that through Workbench you'd be able to hook up directly or through Belcanto to draw just a wire from this control has to go to that audio output, and through the CV generators generate the CV through it. and then you can just hook up your synth module to your audio output and control your synth like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you. Just needed that technical, I couldn't imagine how you would get this through, but this is just me not being experienced enough with this stuff.
But then I also thought that it was only possible over DC coupled audio interfaces, but it seems that there are people now that are doing it over regular audio interfaces also by just soldering a resistor and a diode onto your wire, so that you, if I understood it correctly, because I just briefly read through it, you increase the total voltage of the signal that transfers through the wire so that you can guarantee stability until the end. I think that's the idea.
Okay.
Didn't read nothing about that, but okay, yeah. I have to see that.
If you go to the Expert Sleepers website and to the documentation of Silent Way, it explains how they do it.
Okay. Okay. I have to see that.
And then there is a third solution to do that, which is Expert Sleepers. They also have a module that you can just hook up to different audio outputs. So it could be an ADAT digital output, or a SPDIF digital output, or even an analog output, and it will then generate directly CV from that. So that's a hardware solution.
Okay. If I look down, I have my Dupfer here. I look how they do it, because they have to do something like this too, because there is a MIDI in, which you can somehow use as a CV. And they have an audio out you can use as a CV. If you look at this one here.
Right.
Oh.
So they have something like this built in. That's why I was looking down. To see how maybe they do this.
But I think that the MIDI CV, basically what it does is it takes a MIDI node and it converts it to CV internally. So that's the module that does that. But you have typical, another one. You have another one where they do something else too, because you have an external audio in, an audio in, and audio out to CV4. Yes.
So they must have something in there.
So what I think that they probably do is that they have this output have just two functions that you can switch between, either using it for audio or using it for CV signals, based on how it's connected up in switches or patches or.
No, I think it's here the audio comes out for using with CV, and here is the audio out if you want to have it as audio.
Oh.
Here is the audio out for audio. So probably the audio out in front is for the output on your headphones, and the one in the back is to connect it to the other ones. You see, you have these ones, so you can use these ones with the one in the back. So okay. Thank you for the explanation.
Well, I'm just all dabbling in that also. It's just it's a whole untapped territory for me.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I haven't got anything in yet.
I'm just amazed at their apparent interest in going back to what I consider old technology, which is fascinating to me, because I always liked all the knobs and cables. I don't know how practical it was, but it's fun. There's something about the technician in me that loves all the cables and the wires and the knobs, and instead of punching my mouse around.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, one problem for me was understanding how things like Reactor work. If you don't have any idea how a normal synth, an analog synth work, is just impossible. Because all this audio unit synths rely that you know what this VCO, VCA, VCF stuff is, what the filter does and what the oscillators do. And if you don't know that because you never played around with an analog synth, you're lost. Because then there's just, combinations of characters, and one character is different, and
Understood. Yeah.
Yeah, for me it's more what attracts me to it is the richness of a basic pure sound that I'm still trying to get it in. So I like the very realistic pianos and whatnot and guitar and play that on the Eigenharp. I like that. But on the other hand, I've been looking since the beginning for a synth sound that I like on the Eigenharp. And I've never found one. Basically because I don't feel that they react. Well, I found one or two, but they're quite limited. I don't feel that they react very well to the high resolution, and I have to really jump through a lot of hoops to get that to work. So it's, for me, it's just an experiment to see how it goes. And also, actually, very similar to what you're wondering about, Larry, which is, I want to feel for real what people are talking about. Why are they talking about this analog synthesis stuff? I want to hear it. I want to play it, and I want to.
I don't have a lot of experience, but back in the mid 1970s, you probably most of you may not have even been born. I don't know, but I had a friend that was taking classes down at the University of Indiana, and they had an electronic music lab that he was working in, and so I got to spend almost a full day there with one of the big old Moog synthesizers, thing about 3 feet tall by about 5 feet, 6 feet long, right. And then they had all these 2-inch wide tape decks because you had to do it one at a time because it was a mono type instrument. It had a keyboard, but this is even before MIDI was invented. So but it was fascinating to work with it. It was such a big unit too, and so they had everything in triplicate sometimes, I think, and there's so many patch cables you couldn't find all the buttons and knobs on it. I think underneath there,
Yeah. I think it's the whole experience to feel something for real, connecting different things and listen to what it happens. Completely different, and what comes out in the end.
But I mean, as a performance instrument, a live performance instrument, obviously it had extreme limitations. Not only its size, but just, well, I got this sound, now how do I get it again?
Right.
Yeah, that's one of the big problems.
Which is why I'm quite attracted to the Slim Fatty, because it can save everything.
Presets, yeah.
Yeah, it adds that digital interface that allows you to duplicate settings exactly instead of, because I know from what I've messed with, I mean, just a little bit of a different twist on a knob, just a fraction, which is more than you can read off the dial indicators.
Yeah.
Can make a huge difference, especially when combined with 3 or 4 other knobs that are all interacting with each other.
Yeah.
You can spend days trying to duplicate a sound you had yesterday. Where did it go?
Yeah, but today you have nice little cameras in every phone, so you can at least photograph it easy.
Right. Yeah, that's a big help. Yeah. But still, they're so sensitive that you just can't see that slight variation.
Yeah, I think it also depends on
it's just on certain patches,
on the quality of the knobs also. I think that is something that people pay a lot of money for. There are some analog modules, but from what I read is that basically the knobs are extremely expensive just to get that extra little bit of precision in it. That the cheaper units don't have that, meaning that it's much more difficult to actually dial in a tone.
Right, those are what I call 10-turn knobs and potentiometers.
Yeah,
and those really have a lot of precision, but they are both units, the potentiometer and the knob, are much more expensive.
Yeah, Macbeth uses those, which is probably why stuff is so expensive.
Yeah, well, when you realize what it costs to go out and buy those things, they were expensive a number of years ago. I'm sure they haven't gotten any cheaper because they're probably used less than they were when I was building things with them many years ago.
Yeah. So all this conversation makes me think to go back to the Slim Fatty again.
Yeah.
That's probably a good place to start.
It is, yes, it is.
Yeah. Maybe it's a good starting point.
Because it has a lot of the features you want to work with, I think. And the initial investment, things like that. Then if you like where you're going, then you can go ahead and start seeing some of these other things, and maybe there'll be more stuff out there in a few months' time that people are making too.
Yeah.
One shame about it is, though, I don't think it does any CV out. It only does CV in, which is a bit of a pity.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're kind of limited in what you send to it. But it should be okay when using it with the Eigenharp, I think. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. Heard you were at the Musikmesse in Frankfurt this year. Did you have enough time to see the big one, the German engineer built, the really, really big one, synth?
No, I saw it in YouTube.
You haven't. Okay, yeah, I saw it in real. It was really nice. I mean, you know, it's something like a sports car. You know, you can't never use it, and it's not really rational to buy it, but it's really nice.
Right. And then you get someone to buy it, and he just sits it in the living room and never plays it.
Yeah.
Because he's too busy making money to pay for it.
Yes. Yes.
Probably.
Yeah, I think I have a German gentleman, German guy that lives in Lisbon, so nearby me, and he constructs synths. I think he has a site, Club of the Knobs. I think it's. I've seen him play 1 or 2 times. Never got to talk to him because we always on the run. But I would like to know him. If you like, I can put it down here.
Yeah, I'd like that. Okay, there we are.
He builds modulars.
So yeah, that's the other thing, because I also found that you can buy some kind of self-built packages so that you can put them together yourself to learn how it works. That was another route that I was thinking of. Why not? But then I was thinking, well, if I start going down that route, I'll not be finished in a year.
Yeah.
I have done.
Sorry.
I have done some course, a 3-day course in building little synths. I mean, not big ones, little like one platine and nothing more. It's more like a fun project. And I concluded that I'm really, really bad at soldering, and that I shouldn't try to do anything with potentiometers or anything and soldering, because this is not going to work in the long term.
Yeah, that's a basic skill you need to get, or else you'll have all sorts of troubles with your bad solder joints.
Oh, yeah.
But
the first I've gone is to a Korg MS-20, which I like. But then again, time is always limited, so I never even connected with the alpha. It's over there. Yesterday I was trying to. I was thinking of connecting it. I have to do that. But that's where the most I gone. And it's a semi-modular, so you can patch a lot.
What's that?
There's my little synthesizer.
Oh, the monotone.
Yeah, that's cool.
Cool.
And there's actually websites that tell you how to open this thing up. It's just screws in the back. And there's actually marked places on the circuit board. They've actually marked them for you where you can connect in external things to control it besides the front knobs.
Huh.
And of course, I mean, the little built-in speaker isn't very good. But there is an audio out, and it sounds surprising well if you put it into a decent amplifier for this. It's just a little $60 thing. It's got this is a touch keyboard. It's a slider and a keyboard, and I mean for low money, it makes a lot of interesting sounds. My 4-year-old next door neighbor, who's my music student, she loves playing with it. It's one of the first things she wants to mess with is that.
Hey, Mike.
Good morning. Sorry I'm late.
Hello, Mike.
It's okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, Larry. Hey, Drakina. Who else is on? There are lots of people today.
Yeah.
Yes. We have
I'm soaking wet. It's pouring rain.
You ran outside?
What is rain?
Yeah, you don't have that, do you, Larry?
We are in the worst drought in history. In recorded history, we're in the worst drought we have ever had. We're like 20 inches behind just for this year, and it started last year.
Wow.
So, I mean, the Sahara Desert's getting more rain than we do, I think. It's turning to a big problem real fast here. You aren't allowed to water your yard or wash your car or anything. It's getting... Pretty soon we're going to have to start importing water, I guess. I don't know. Our reservoirs are...
You're going to become a second Las Vegas.
Las Vegas has more water than we do because they have the Hoover Dam nearby.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And that big reservoir. So that's why they are in a desert. But unfortunately, they're using it all up, so we don't have any way over here in Texas. Yeah, it's not a good situation, really.
Hi, Ahmad.
Hi.
Yeah, fun. Lots of people today.
What's up?
We're talking just about the Eigenharp. You know the Eigenharp?
No.
Are you a musician?
No, I'm at office, so there's a lot of noises.
Ah, okay.
From the street.
Well, then just listen in.
Hey, I'm Ahmed Hattab from Jordan.
Hello. Yeah. Oh, he's gone. Guess his boss walked in.
Yeah, it's
Didn't
strange.
mean to scare him.
I thought I was friendly.
Yeah, it must have been me, Gert.
How did your hangout go last week, Larry?
It went very well.
Good.
We had a bunch of new people.
Yeah.
And New Zealand, California, and we had old people too, like Antonio. Antonio was there in voice only, and Gert was there in video only. So we got to really stretch the limits of this Hangout stuff. But it was very good, and met a lot of nice new people, and plan to have it again on 4 o'clock on Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll try this one. I'd love the intros. I mean, it's neat to meet new people, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was very good, and it worked extremely well. Like I said, we had New Zealand, in California, and here in Texas, and then Portugal and Belgium, and we are really getting global. We can cover every time zone now.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I was explaining that to someone in email today. Say, we've got two clubhouses per week. It's like one at 4 p.m. European time, one at 4 p.m. Eastern US time.
That's a big planet, and we can't all be insomniacs. So.
It's cool. It's really cool.
It's fascinating. There's just so much out there. It's just, and it's especially good for me because there's just not much happening in my real life circles, if you want to call this non-real life, here in Texas, especially with this type of music, these type of instruments. So I don't really have anybody I can hang out with, that lives in the same town.
Right.
So this makes it wonderful for me.
Yeah, it's the same for me. I'd have to drive about an hour or something to get somewhere, but which is a bit much to do that quickly in the evening.
Oh, gee, Gert, I have to drive an hour to get anywhere.
Well, you Americans are crazy. Canadians also. An hour is a long time.
Yeah, well, it's 3 hours for me to get to the nearest sort of metropolitan area.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. And I think I have it bad with my 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, by public transport. It's longer by car.
Yeah, I still remember my first real, very good friend lived in America. Told me once, and it was the first time that someone made that kind of remark to me. Yes, I'm gonna take the afternoon off. So why? Because I'm going to buy trousers. Okay, why? Well, the nearest store is a 2.5 hour drive. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I used to work at times at the Astronomical Observatory way out in West Texas, which is because of the light and so forth, wanted to be as isolated as possible. And a lot of people actually lived out there and worked out there full time. And they would think nothing of driving, about an hour and a half one direction just to go to get groceries because there was nothing else. And after a while, I mean, that's just a normal thing. Okay, we're going to the grocery store, it's going to, by the time we get done shopping, we'll have taken 4 or 5 hours. But that was just their life. You just got used to it, I guess.
But Larry, there's lots of really good country and western percussion loops. Surely you could get yourself in with a few dobro sorts and do that good West Texas music. All you have to do is stand there and push the percussion button and have flashing lights. They'd probably love it.
Well, I just might have to do that. I'm definitely going to have to learn some more conventional, traditional music. I don't know what genre. If I want to be an Eigen demonstrator, have to have something that people can relate to a little bit more than totally weird experimental stuff. You like that, huh?
Well, Drachika would be, if she would have met you before buying the Eigenharp and you show her weird experimental stuff, she would just have jumped on it.
She would love it.
Yeah, I'm in here for the word experimental stuff.
Yeah, I saw that one video that you did, and it was, I really liked the type of music that you guys were doing. Definitely in the area I'm more leaning to. Not that I don't like lots of other things too, but we only have so much time, and there's so many other people doing, like jazz or something so much better than I do it, that I don't see, I could spend my whole life trying to get half as good as they are, or I could go down other avenues that are more interesting to me.
Or you can do it on the Eigenharp and wow everyone. It doesn't matter how good you are. Just flash the lights. Just kidding.
Yeah, well, I know a few people that have some small jazz groups. I'm thinking about that possibility. Just let me sit in with a couple of your sessions here, and you have an interesting crowd-pleasing instrument here.
But why not? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Maybe some of these jazz groups would be interested in having somebody having slightly weirder contributions to their music. I mean, actually, I don't know which video you saw, but in the band I played, the guitarist is actually he can do classical, he showed me. He can do Spanish guitar very well, but he is actually identifying himself as a jazz musician. So maybe you can find a group that maybe not all the time, but maybe wants some contribution of the more like experimental kind.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. I think if you can find a way of playing at least a bit in their idiom and draw it out. I mean, the perfect example is Billy Cardine and his Moog lap steel thing. It's very esoteric stuff, but he sort of fits in with, people you wouldn't expect him to fit in with.
I did a little bit of that. I used to play in a church group, and we were a fairly progressive, more jazz-oriented church group because of our music director, and I was playing a synthesizer guitar. And so most of the time I was just playing basically guitar-type rhythms, but a few pieces we'd come to which had a different style to them, and I started playing sitar and things like that, which definitely surprised everybody, especially in the audience. Where did the sitar come from? That was fun.
Yeah, I can really relate to that. There's one song that we do with the band where I play a string orchestra ensemble on my guitar, and each string is another instrument, and then so I just start playing the guitar, and it is the string orchestra, and it's each and every time you see the faces of the audience, but it's something that's been existed for decades. It's not like it's something new, right? But still, people are like, where are these strings coming from? Is he playing that on his guitar?
That's great.
Are you using something like a hexaphonic pickup and like one of the Roland trackers?
I'm using. I've got a Godin guitar with that built in, so the tracking is really good, and it goes through an Axon converter, which does the pitch detection already on the moment when your pick hits the string, and it doesn't wait for the sound. It can detect it on when the pick hits. Which gives it quite good tracking. Still too much latency for my taste, but playing strings is quite easy on that. You never. It's usually
and that's
slow stuff.
That's a piezo-based pickup on the Godin, I think. The hex pickup.
Yeah, it's in the piezo at the back, and then it goes out through a hex output.
And I mean, Roland has one you can stick on your guitar, which is actually a magnetic pickup. And I definitely think that the piezo works better with a guitar synth. I have the Axion, the whole unit. What is it?
Oh, right, yeah,
with all the sounds and everything else built in.
Yeah, I have the rack unit also, where I connect my Godin to.
Yeah.
Sounds like crap though. The synth sounds are horrible on it.
Yeah, the built-in sounds could be a lot better.
And it's very badly built. I figured out a way how to remove hum. There is a certain hum in it. And it took me months to figure it out. But if you plug in just a basic, headphone jack with nothing connected to it, in the headphone output, without anything connected to it, hum is gone.
I didn't know that. Okay.
So yeah, but it does its job.
Yeah, I was always amazed by the way it could sense where on the string your pick was hitting it.
Yes, that's nice.
That was pretty wild.
Yes.
So you can actually key off different controllers and different instruments by where the pick was on the string, how close to the neck and how close to the bridge.
Yes.
Which is an amazing piece of technology, really.
And I've hooked up. I use that also for when I play certain guitar chords, and then I activate Omnisphere with pads in the background, which basically plays based on the volume that I am on the guitar string. So it's louder if I go up, or softer if I go towards the neck. So I can, handle the volume of the pads different independently from the volume of the guitar sound without having to start turning knobs or anything. So
that's nice. I like that feature.
You guys are going to spend my money again.
They don't make that unit anymore, Mike. It's out of production.
You actually can get them.
Yes.
I haven't used mine in a long time, actually, working with other stuff, but yeah.
It's a shame,
maybe
though.
You can exchange.
Sorry?
Maybe you can make an exchange.
There we go.
Yeah, have you played with a wave drum yet? They're fun.
I haven't.
No.
My next gadget will be audio cubes.
Ah.
Yeah, I showed them a couple of weeks. I like that.
Yeah.
Also.
It's a Belgian company.
I'm only I'm only getting 2. Since I'm a little cash strapped, but at least I hope I get 2.
How do you plan to use them?
Oh, I have for some things I would like an extra controller, because I have the Eigenharp set up for everything, and then I need a controller to control a little bit more of the sound and do some things, some switching and so on, and I want to use the audio cubes for that.
Yeah.
That's it, right? Yeah.
And I think they are fun. I mean.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe I'll put one so that it tells me when my email arrives or something like that. Pretty easy.
I think so.
I went to their website and it said you had to get on a waiting list to buy them.
Yes, there's a lot of interest now.
Yeah, you just go on the waiting list and they mail you. They mailed me actually and told me they have some that people didn't collect. They have some over, and if I want some.
Yeah.
So it was really fast. So maybe you should get yourself on the waiting list.
Yeah, and
if you want some.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So the other place you can spend money is Big City Music. I don't know if you've ever gone to their website.
No.
I was wanting to get a French connection at one point, and I finally talked myself out of it, thankfully. But Big City Music carries a lot of new old stock and a lot of sort of esoteric stuff. So I don't know if you've ever looked at the French connection. It's interesting.
What is it, Mike?
It's a controller that's intended to be used with control voltages that emulates an on-net. That word?
A what?
On Martineau?
Okay. On this Martineau.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, got it.
Thank you for my bad French. And oh my God! But it's got the string controller and the divots and the whole thing.
Oh right. Oh right, I remember. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
And they're reasonably inexpensive. I think they're about $2,000.
Yeah.
Okay, reasonably inexpensive.
Well, compared to an Eigenharp, actually compared to an Eigenharp, they're not a good deal because they're a string, a potentiometer, and a spring. Really.
There was when Moog released that new ladder filter as a 500 series module. It was $800. And there was someone said on Twitter, I thought it was so funny. Now a lot of people with $10,000 in modular synths plugged into a Behringer mixer are looking into the Moog ladder filter.
Yeah, I read that also.
That was pretty funny.
It just cracked me up.
Yeah.
But, it's all crap because it doesn't use OSC.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Sorry.
Oh, my.
Oh, and we are at OSC, that reminds me. Hurt, good job with commenting the latch
okay.
agent. Really studying it now, and really nice to have something where you can learn a lot by reading comments and seeing stuff and so.
Cool. Oh, glad you like it. I'm probably gonna refactor because I built the latch to demonstrate all the individual pieces of the code. The wires, the routes, and the controllers and stuff like that. But there's a lot of boilerplate code in it that typically you wouldn't write if you write it for real. But I copied that to the angle radius one. But I think I'm going to refactor the angle radius one to use a C filter instead of all this boilerplate code, so that there's an example of using the C filter base class also.
Okay.
So that's something I still just need to find time for.
Yeah, it always amazes me what you do find. Oh, nice lights.
Oh. What's that, Antonio?
Oh, sorry. I'm distracting you guys.
Yes, you are.
I mentioned that.
Christmas lights.
Yeah, I'm just showing this over here because I'm not sure it's usable to play and to enjoy, but I don't know, it's too many flashing lights. I said this to Gert, so what I'm doing is I'm using one of the arrangers to output MIDI and receive that MIDI and change the scales. So when just inside with Belcanto, I'm doing this all with the alpha. So when I play it, I can have these dots are the scales. I have 5 different scales over here.
It's 11 o'clock.
Oh, Mike, thank you.
I know, sorry.
So this is the scales I have, and I can play on top, and the scales are changing. So let's see, it's never the same notes, of course.
For those that are into experimental music, this is really great.
Yeah, yes.
Wow.
You don't have to move your fingers because
this is awesome.
Oh, wow.
it's a lot of flashing. I don't know.
I think that if you do that on stage, get everyone hypnotized.
Yeah, I think that will be cool.
Well,
I like
but
it.
I can think of a really good application for that, which is you make up a custom scale. The scales are actually specifically designed to put what you want to play under your fingers, and you actually end up doing a chord progression without moving your fingers.
It's true.
Yeah, you can. You can.
Is it true?
Yeah, you can. I don't know about these are the scale patterns. It's a lot of changes. I don't know.
I really like that. That's fascinating. Now,
It's
Antonio,
sort of
are you using 1.4.17 right now?
Yeah, also.
Okay.
Antonio, I think I would be interested to see your script for that, because I think you don't have to go over MIDI to do this.
Yeah, probably you could do it internally.
I think you can do it directly without having to have this additional step, and it would be, take up less resources and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, did you post the script for that, Antonio?
No, not yet. I just mentioned it to Gert last week. I was planning to show it on Wednesday, to this
Yes, on Wednesday.
other Hangout, but I got no video from my MacBook Pro. I don't know. It's thing very personal, so maybe I fine tune it with Gert and we post it.
Mike, I was just thinking about another usage for this. So we could build a setup for specific songs to teach people how to play them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just, if it's a chord-based song, then people can just, okay, this is where I have to put my fingers for this period of time, and just the arranger sets that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason not to do that.
Yeah.
Where are we going to find time?
But it appeals to me to play music inside out. Like you normally pick a scale and then play notes.
Yes.
There's something appealing about picking notes and then playing the scales. I know it's perverse, but it's a brilliant thought, Antonio.
It is.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, we got to go. Got to get
Yeah,
deeper into that.
Definitely.
Well, hopefully I'll see you guys Wednesday. We'll see.
4
Okay.
o'clock.
Yeah, I
Central
think
Daylight
I
Time.
can
It's
make
still
it.
daylight here. Our wonderful legislature decided to keep daylight savings time all the way into November 6th.
I'm sure there's a purpose,
To make it look like you're doing something.
I guess.
Actually, I read an article in Scientific American that they've done studies and say that they don't save energy, you have more accidents, you have lower productivity, and all these other problems by even using daylight savings time. So,
Well, to me, given that everything is 7/24, I think the whole damn discussion is irrelevant. like it doesn't matter what you do, you're gonna change something to no particular purpose.
yeah.
It's just a tradition, I think, that just kept going, and
Sure. Do you know that's a Canadian invention?
it is.
Yeah.
Are you proud?
I figured that.
No.
If I talk to 10 people and say, do you like daylight savings time, I'll get 12 people that say they don't like it.
If you live far enough north, it has certain merits.
Okay.
But, these days it's an anachronism.
Mm-hmm.
I also think, yeah.
Well, guys, have
Yes,
a good week.
it was a nice hangout. See you guys on Wednesday, or maybe on Wednesday. I'm not sure I can make it. Otherwise, next week. Bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
That's
Bye.
right. Bye-bye. Last thing, y'all.